Here we are in the home stretch of 2025, and yet another one of our housing wildcards hit again. Lenders, we need your help with this one. Let's get to the good news. At the beginning of the year and every speaking opportunity thereafter, we shared our housing wildcards for 2025, and we're so happy to say that many of them hit. Today's news really encompasses two of them. Our first wild card, which is interest rates, and our last one, which is the new cabinet coming in. And part of the new cabinet is FHFA Director Bill Pulte, who has been talking about lowering LLPAs thanks to our good friend Barry Habib. Send him some love on social because this is a big one. So we talked about this back in January, stating that lower rates can and should come from the 10-year lowering as well as mortgage spreads dropping. That has and is continuing to happen, but we also talked about another pathway to lower rates and increased home affordability coming from lower LLPAs. Now, what does that mean? Well, we'll break it down for you real quick, and this will make a lot of sense here in a minute. Now, first, this applies to conventional loans, not FHA or VA, but here's the LLPA grid itself, and LLPA stands for loan level price adjustment. These price adjustments typically equal higher or at least more expensive rates to consumers. Let's take a look. See, in this example, if you're buying a home and putting 20% down and have a credit score of 780 or greater, then you would have an adjustment to the cost of the rate of 0.375%. But if you had a credit score of 639 or lower, your adjuster would be much, much higher at 2.75%. Now, that's nearly a $10,000 cost increase on a $400,000 loan that can either be paid by points or offset by a higher interest rate. Lenders, this is where we need your help. Stop the video now and go through a couple of examples with your realtor or if you're teaching a class right now. So that's a pretty aggressive swing, right? In short, that's exactly what we're talking about in trying to get lowered, which would affect lower rates slightly and the cost to obtain any certain rate. Let's look at another example. We'll stay with the same scenario and change our property type to a condo. Now we have another 0.75 price adjuster. What about if we change to an investment property? That's a huge swing, and now it's a 3.375% price adjuster. Ever wonder why rates are so high when you go look to buy an investment property? Well, now you know. And all of these apply to someone purchasing a home, but there's an entirely different list if you want to refinance to lower your rate. Take a look. Very similar, and again, lowering these LLPAs would be a massive benefit to both home buyers and families trying to lower their monthly mortgage debt by refinancing. We've also talked about the pile of cash American homeowners are sitting on right now, a record $35 trillion in cash in the form of home equity. Well, if you wanted to tap into that, you would have an LLPA grid as well, and that would make it more expensive to do so. Now you guys can see why we talked about this at the beginning of the year and why we're so thankful that Bill Pulte and Barry Habib are working to lower these. As you can see, it would be an additional pathway to lower rates regardless of what the market does. Team, this is some really good news if we can get it done. Realtors and consumers, we hope this makes sense. Again, grab a local lender and dig in further and gain even better understanding. And hey, share the good news on social with the tagline of what this means to you is, and then give your explanation. See you guys next week, and Pulte and Habib, let's get this done for the people.